There's maybe a tiny minuscule chance you haven't heard of Palworld, but not likely as Palworld is currently controlling the gaming community. It is taking it by storm in ways that we really only see every few years or so. I know for me personally, I am addicted to Palworld. This game is one of my worlds is called "This Game Is Crack," just simply because that's honestly how I feel about it. It is really addicting. It's really fun, especially if you like the survival genre. But for those of you that don't like the survival genre, it actually has a lot more to offer than just that, because this game embodies a bunch of different video games all into one, and I think that's what's making it such a extraordinary gameplay experience. However, it is of course not without its faults, but I will get into that a little bit later. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your host for today. It's your boy Senjo, and today I just wanna gush and talk about Palworld. More specifically, I want to get into the reasons why I really believe Palworld is this extraordinary gaming experience. And, you know, obviously, if you've been seeing all the buzz about it, you know, a lot of people, especially just on Steam alone. Remember, this game is also out on, I think, Xbox. I'm not sure if it's out on PlayStation, but it's on multiple platforms, and it is just for a good reason popping off. Very, very good reason. I think there are a few reasons, though, I do want to particularly give a lot of credit to. And one of those reasons requires a little bit of storytelling, particularly way back in 2024 when Palworld first showed up on the gaming scene. This game was advertised not really through the merit of Pocket Pair, but mostly shock value and word of mouth, which is almost certainly the best way possible that you can advertise your game, because it's all organic. It's organic, it comes from peer-to-peer, so people are more likely to, they're more likely to trust their friend's opinion on a video game, or at the very least, like, Palworld is a co-op game, so people will be like, oh, let's play this fun co-op game together, and people will more likely try it. And what happened with Palworld was they did, simply put, Pokemon with guns. That's still the tagline people refer it to this day, even though it's, not an official tagline at all. It's just been community made. Like I said, very big boon for Palworld's reputation is just having this ridiculous nature of people know Pokemon. A lot of people know Pokemon. Even if you're old, people know Pokemon. That's kind of the influence it has on the world at this point. So when people watch a gameplay from a stream or a gameplay trailer, and then they see the PAL come out of the PAL sphere, and then all of a sudden the main player character takes out an AR out of their back, and they just start blasting at whatever they're shooting at, other enemy PALs, enemy factions, whatever it is. It was definitely one of those moments that was like a surreal thing to see, and me like many others got into Palworld right when it came out in early access, right? I remember those days so vividly because it was just a really fun time to be gaming, because I was playing Palworld with two different groups at the time, and I was unfortunately the host of both the servers, so I was getting pulled in all different directions. I felt bad when one time I wouldn't host the server for I was playing with my cousins, and I was also playing with my group of friends, and it was a little bit of a stressful time, but I was in it, right? I was invested in Palworld, and that is the whole reason that that situation even happened, is because of Palworld. The best part about Palworld is it disrupts the player's expectations, and like I said, the expectation of Palworld at the current point in time was Pokemon with guns. So people were kind of expecting a kiddie adventure, and despite its looks, it's not really that kind of game. It's a very, very serious game. Off the rip, the first NPC you meet describes the environment as hell, so it kind of sets up this like mature atmosphere. But more than just that, you see it in like the reaction of the pals. The pals react more like wild animals. It's your first area in the game, right? So they're going to keep things tame. You're not going to like get killed, but they run away from you, right? And then you start to realize when you get to more and more zones that they're starting to attack you now. They're starting to defend their territory, quite similar to like, maybe like a lion or stuff like that. One thing that I never loved about Pokemon is Pokemon always felt like every Pokemon sort of has the behavior of a dog. even if they're not actually a dog Pokemon. Meaning they're kind of just waiting to become your companion rather than being these wild animals like they kind of are supposed to be, right? Palworld keeps that like environment correct, where yeah, you are on a survival. To be fair, Palworld is a survival game and Pokemon is an adventure game. This is one major part where they differ, is you might go into Palworld expecting it to be Pokemon guns, and there are definitely, I'm not going to sit here and say there are not similarities, but that is probably another whole spiel for another video. Maybe a little bit of a controversial spiel that I will not be getting into right now. But yeah, having Palworld feel so different in pretty much every aspect aside from catching creature in ball and wanting to be the very best like no one else ever was, because that is a Pokemon exclusive thing. Pretty much that's where the similarities end. So if you had concerns that Palworld was going to be like this kitty game, it is not a kitty game. It looks very kitty, but I don't think graphics and art style should be the end all be all. I think that's kind of minuscule in my opinion compared to gameplay, and Palworld's gameplay is way different from Pokemon. Another concept I'd like to highlight with Palworld is how it handles its open world. My issue that I have with a lot of open world games is that most people know this, and it's not really an issue, it's kind of just like a pet peeve thing, but everyone knows in an open world game that there is an invisible wall somewhere. There is a, it's not a true open world. At some point, the open world ends, whether it be through a forced end, like an invisible wall, or it's somewhat smoother, where they kind of just make it so it's like a mountain that you can't cross. Palworld uses islands, and the open sea is technically your invisible wall. At some point, if you go out there, there's going to be something that stops you, whether it be a giant kraken, a giant water pal that just eats you up. That'd be kind of sick. I actually don't know what happens when you go all the way out there. I'm assuming it's an invisible wall, but who knows? Old school games used to do stuff like that. I think what's really sick about Palworld is there's no backdrop, there's no skybox, there's no background. Everything you see, you can go to, which is something to be kind of not taken for granted. Like really, the only game that I can think of in the survival genre that has something like this is Minecraft, because Minecraft you literally can go where you see and nothing stops you. I think Ark does islands as well, so they kind of do the island trick per se, but it's more like one big island rather than multiple islands. So I think having the multiple islands in Palworld definitely makes it the exploration a lot more fun, because like I said, if you can see it, you can go to it. A great example I have right here is this clip where I built my base on sort of the edge of a mountain. Basically, if you can reach a high enough point, you can see it because it renders. This might just be a PC thing. I have it at max render distance, but still, it's really, 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 really cool that I can see my base. It's obnoxiously colored. I can see it, and obviously, I know that I can go to it because I was there, which means, connect the dots in the brain, the excitement, the exploration of excitement kicks in, and I'm like, oh shoot, the world tree, I could probably go there at some point. Previously, you weren't able to in the early access, so now Palworld really embraces that idea that everything I see here, everything, floating island in the distance, oil rig really far away, random small desert island super far away, I can eventually make it there at some point in my adventure, and that just makes exploring a lot more fun when you add that when you just add that mental realization. Palworld is also more than an exploration game, despite it being the main focus, of course. It is a survival game. Exploration is kind of written in these games' DNA. You could be super hardcore focused on your base, and you can just be a person who obsesses over making your base as efficient as possible, because all the pals are unique and they have all different work suit abilities. They have different literal skills and abilities that can affect how they work at the base, how they work in combat. It's very, very it very much tailors itself to people who love to min-max, but you don't have to do that. That's the best part. This game allows you to play different play styles. I think some of the best games ever made enable this level of freedom, and it's not it's kind of rare. It's hard to pull off, right? You could say that shooters let you do this. You know, some people camp, some people rush, you know, but that's only just two ways, right? Because most people don't fall on either end of the extremes. Some people like to explore a lot. Some people like to explore a lot. They'll eventually work on their base, maybe out of just necessity. And then, you know, a lot of people really fall in the in-between, and that's what makes Palworld really, really fun, is that there's levels to this, and not like the cocky, like, I'm better than you, there's levels to this kind of type beat, but like there's literally different levels to this, as in everybody gets to enjoy the game at their own pace and their own enjoyment. On a little quick side note, since it's slightly related to this, Palworld also comes with custom settings, and having that in your game off the rip, where normally you would probably have to download like a trainer mod or something like that, you know, a stats adjustment mod or whatever they're called, right? To have something like that in the game off the rip, no other games in this space really come shipped with that level of customization, and that's something it adds to the replayability factor for sure. But that final thing that doesn't add to the replayability factor, ironically, is the map. Now, this isn't something that can't be fixed. I think Palworld can just do kind of like what Ark does, where they eventually just added a bunch of different DLC maps to the game. And I'm not even going to be mad at DLC, because Palworld is a lot cheaper as well compared to its peers. It's $30. I'm pretty sure Minecraft isn't even $30 anymore. I was completely wrong. Minecraft is actually $30. But most of you have probably already played the hell out of Minecraft, or you're still playing it now with a bunch of mods, and you're probably not really even interested in this Palworld video in the first place. But yeah, to get back on track, having that in your game automatically is something that's so overlooked in a lot of different survival games. Palworld being on one map really hurts the longevity of the game. Again, not something that they can't fix, just something that, you know, when you play Minecraft, you don't have to worry about this, because it's a seeded map. It's always different every time. But in Palworld, once you've seen a cool sightline one time, you basically have seen it 1,000 times, right? There's nothing new to explore. There's nothing new to see. And it turns the game into more like, let's see how fast I can get my base set up to a level of efficiency that I'm happy with. Let's create new challenges, which is cool, which is very, very cool, because again, that creates more of that gameplay loop where it's more about what you want to achieve rather than what the game is telling you to achieve. Because the story of Palworld, it's never really pushed on you. Like, it's there, it's always there. You have a main quest and you'll see it on your map the entire time, but they really aren't pushing you at any point to do it. It's really up to you when this game becomes worth it. And that's, again, what I think makes the game so good, is it's easy to determine that because you'll create your own goals. Maybe you want max base. Maybe you want all your pals to be level 10 work suitability, whatever, that they're good at, right? Watering, handiwork, whatever, you know? And that's why, despite everything, I still think Palworld is, like, to me, it's a perfect video game. Like, once they start releasing new maps, which is what I think they'll do, it's gonna be one of the best survival games I've ever played. And hey, maybe I've made you feel the same way. Maybe you are now influenced to try and I don't want to influence anybody, but maybe I convinced you to try out Palworld. It's not a bad idea. I had a great time with it. Maybe you'll have a great time with it. Get some friends. Honestly, game's fun even solo, just because you got a bunch of pals with you. See what I did there? Get your pals up. But thank you guys all for watching. Obviously, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed. Maybe you'll consider subscribing as well. I do play a bunch of games on this channel. I am a variety gamer, and this style of video is something that I want to do a lot more. So if you like this as well, stick around. But yeah, have a good rest of your guys' day, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.